Jake Zielsdorf says, hello. Dan Reichert on the show last week. Kyle, you ready for this?
Yes.
You need to sound very smart. I just want to make sure you're prepared. Dan Reichert on the show last week repeated the game critic shibboleth. Is that the word? He repeated the longstanding shibboleth that Breath of the Wild was a revolutionary game. This is often said, but I've never heard it explained why it was revolutionary. To me, it was a great game that mixed elements from Assassin's Creed, Skyrim, survival games, and traditional Zelda. What does it mean for a game to be revolutionary if just about everything about it is iterative? Why is a game like Breath of the Wild seen as revolutionary where others like Horizon Zero Dawn or Ghost of Tsushima are seen as amalgams?
Folks, we got a question of the week right here. Congratulations on that win. I think if you watch the video from last week, you can see my brain explode inside of my head when Dan said that. And I was polite. I didn't want to say anything and pee on your guys' party.
Pee in that dip.
You don't think Breath of the Wild is revolutionary?
I think it's revolutionary for the Zelda franchise, but the things that you guys go on and on about have been done in so many other games.
Kyle, please.
Disagree. I mean, certainly there are elements that Zelda has borrowed from other games, but the thing that really truly gives it sort of the revolutionary edge to me is a genuine sense of freedom. Like even things like Horizon Zero Dawn, which I played after Breath of the Wild and really loved, I felt restricted often in how I could move around that world. But Breath of the Wild, there is nothing in that game that you cannot get to or explore without, putting
if you can see it, you can go there, Kyle. Is that what you're saying?
No, but nothing is gated. Nothing in the story is gated. Nothing in the gameplay is gated. It is as open as it can possibly be. And I think that non-linearity to that extreme.
But there's gated stuff still because you're gated by your climbing stamina until you can climb up to a certain place.
No, that's not true.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier. It gets easier and easier as you progress, but I don't think there is anything in that world that you cannot get to the top of once you leave the plateau. It just takes a significant amount of effort if you don't have all the climbing abilities. But it's just that I don't buy it. Okay.
The community's going to prove you wrong. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm sure I can't find a video of someone climbing the highest peak in Breath of the Wild after leaving the plateau. I'm sure that'll be very difficult to find. It comes down to it comes down to how you just don't feel restricted in that game. Yeah. Like if I'm playing, I'm going to keep going.
I'm glad that was your experience with it, Kyle, but that doesn't make it revolutionary for all of video games.
I think it actually does. Name another game, an open world game in particular, that's as non-linear as that. One that
Minecraft.
That has a story that you can experience in any order and you can jump to the end right away. You can't do that in Minecraft. It's not telling a story and then just letting you jump right there. It's an awesome playground, but there's a difference between a playground and a narrative that is completely open-ended and you can approach it from any direction.
And just the environment you can approach from any direction. I mean, it's one of those games that after I played it, playing games after Breath of the Wild feels like everything is being held back. Like I cannot climb everything. Like I know I've already used an example, but Horizon Zero Dawn, like the fact that I still had to look for handholds on the environment to climb in certain areas, and I couldn't escape certain areas where like story stuff was happening, it just felt restrictive. And Breath of the Wild is not restrictive in a way that I don't think I really feel like had not been done up to that point.
Yeah.
This is still blowing my mind because I felt so constricted playing that game for so many hours, and I would come in and complain to you guys in the office and you're like, oh, well, when you get these gloves, you can climb a lot easier and all this other crap.
Things get easier.
Some of the arguments we had was like moving across the water. I remember was a big one that we had in the office. Like it wasn't just you; it was a lot of people.
I remember Andy was a little turd about it.
They're like, I drown whenever I go in the water. It's like, but you don't understand. There are multiple ways to get across water that don't involve the abilities that you have. You can find stuff in the environment to help you get across that I'd never really seen done in video games before then.
Yeah,
they've been done.
Once you're on the plateau, like. I was surprised to see the number of ways, like the first, 4 shrines I saw completed, like so many different paths, like completely, like the environment can like push you, gesture you towards like a specific path. But like I've never, like once you get past the plateau, there's nothing stopping you from launching you into Hyrule Castle, nothing stopping you from climbing the highest tower. And also even the granularity, like the interactivity of the stuff you drop on the ground. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the macro, but yeah, absolutely. Also thinking about just the shrines and focusing on physics and how bendable everything is, multiple strategies to get to that finish line, which I understand that idea of like, oh, a physics-driven game, that's not new. But I think in the scope of Breath of the Wild, that's the revolutionary part. So, Jeffem, that's why Breath of the Wild is the greatest game of the year from 2017 and the best game of the entire decade. So,
I'm sorry to the author of that email who was completely right, and now he has to listen to this whole conversation.
The thing is I don't think that emailer was like necessarily on your side, Jeffem. I think they just wanted us to vocalize why we felt like it was revolutionary, because like it is one of those things that it just feels new and novel, but it's kind of hard to sort of put into words.
I don't know. Jake called it shibboleth, so I think he's judging.
Okay. I mean, we have this debate weirdly all the time, Jeffem, and it's like there's this weird line of like things that you found frustrating in the game I found really novel and like opportunities to solve puzzles, and that's just like a personal preference. It's just like how you perceive the game, and it's like you're not wrong in that. It's just like I just ended up enjoying it.
I know, and I totally respect those differences. It just drives me nuts when you guys are saying, oh yes, it's so innovative that it has done this, and it's like I've seen these elements in different games, but it adds up to something more for you guys, I guess.
Okay, but at least on the story front, you must agree that is absurd to let you approach all these things in any direction at any time that you want.
I'm sure there have been other open world games where you can go straight to an end boss. It's just that you're going to get your ass kicked if you do it.
Jeffem, you're a professional video game critic, and the fact that you don't have it on the top of your mind right now means that
right.
It does not exist to the extent that Breath of the Wild pushed it through. So great, congratulations. If you enjoyed this clip from the MinnMax Show podcast, we think you'll like the full show too. You can find it by subscribing to MinnMax's YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast app. Any help spreading the word to keep our whole indie operation here running is appreciated. We're here for and because of the wonderful MinnMax community, so you're welcome to join.